Part 2. Be not too forward, therefore, to conclude that I lack solidness, that I am rude. All things solid in show, not solid be. All things in parables, despise not we. Lest things more hurtful lightly we receive, and things that good are, of our souls bereave. My dark and cloudy words, they do but hold the truth, as cabinets enclose the gold. The prophets used much by metaphors to set forth truth. Yes, whoso considers Christ his apostles too shall plainly see that truths to this day in such garments be. Am I afraid to say that Holy Writ, which for its style and phrase puts down all wit, is everywhere so full of all these things, dark figures, allegories, yet there springs from that same book that lustre and those rays of light that turns our darkest night to days. Come, let my carper to his life now look, and find there darker lines than in my book he finds any. Yes, and let him know that in his best things there are worse lines too. May we but stand before impartial men, to his poor one I dare adventure 10, that they will take my meaning in these lines far better than his lies in silver shrines. Come, truth, although in swaddling clothes, I find informs the judgment, rectifies the mind, pleases the understanding, makes the will submit, the memory too it does fill, with what our imagination does please, likewise it tends our troubles to appease. Sound words I know Timothy is to use, and old wives' fables he is to refuse. But yet grave Paul him nowhere does forbid the use of parables, in which lay hid that gold, those pearls, and precious stones that were worth digging for, and that with greatest care. Let me add one more word, O man of God. Are you offended? Do you wish I had put forth my matter in another dress, or that I had in things been more express? 3 things let me propound, then I submit to those that are my betters, as is fit. 1. I find not that I am denied the use of this my method, so I no abuse. Put on the words, things, readers, or be rude in handling figure or similitude, in application, but all that I may, seek the advance of truth this or that way. Denied, did I say? No, I have leave, example too, and that from them that have God better pleased by their words or ways, than any man that breathes nowadays. Thus to express my mind, thus to declare things unto you that more excellent are. 2. I find that men as high as trees will write dialogue-wise, yet no man does them slight for writing so. Indeed, if they abuse truth, cursed be they, and the craft they use to that intent. But yet let truth be free to make her sallies upon you and me, which way it pleases God. For who knows how better than he that taught us first to plough, to guide our mind and pens for his design, and he makes base things usher in divine. 3. I find that Holy Writ in many places has likeness with this method, where the cases do call for one thing to set forth another, Use it I may then, and yet nothing smother truth's golden beams. No, by this method may make it cast forth its rays as light as day. And now, before I do put up my pen, I'll show the profit of my book, and then commit both you and it unto that hand that pulls the strong down and makes the weak ones stand. This book it chalks out before your eyes the man that seeks the everlasting prize. It shows you whence he comes, where he goes, what he leaves undone, also what he does. It also shows you how he runs and runs till he unto the gate of glory comes. It shows too who sets out for life amain, as if the lasting crown they would attain. Here also you may see the reason why they lose their labour and like fools do die. This book will make a traveller of you, if by its counsel you its rules will do. It will direct you to the Holy Land, if you will its directions understand. Yes, it will make the slothful active be, the blind also delightful things to see. Are you for something rare and profitable? Would you see a truth within a fable? Are you forgetful? Would you remember from New Year's Day to the last December? Then read my fancies. They will stick like burrs, and may be to the helpless comforters. This book is writ in such a dialect as may the minds of listless men affect. It seems a novelty, and yet contains nothing but sound and honest gospel strains. Would you divert yourself from melancholy? Would you be pleasant, yet be far from folly? Would you read riddles and their explanation, or else be drowned in your contemplation? Do you love picking meat, or would you view a man in the clouds and hear him speak to you? Would you be in a dream and yet not sleep, or would you in a moment laugh and weep? Would you lose yourself and catch no harm, and find yourself again without a charm? Would read yourself, and read you know not what, and yet know whether you are blessed or not, by reading the same lines? Oh, then come hither, and lay my book, your head and heart together. John Bunyan.